uh, one piece model with hands on race on the right side, and then the last one is a multi-object to replicate the mannequin doll. And then we're going to create one skeleton and then maybe duplicate this skeleton and use it for each character. And we will see how does this skeleton affects each character. Okay, what are the difference? Okay, so I'm going to use or reference this character, the last one with multi-object. Okay, so what I'm going to do is create a skeleton for this one, and then we're going to apply the skeleton for the rig. So on my side view, okay, let me try to fix the character and put it on the 0 y axis. So let me show all my characters, outliner, and then select and then move it on to 0 axis. Okay, let me check multi-object. Okay, and then let me modify freeze transformation and reset transformation. Okay, so here when I select this object, the center is at the bottom area. Okay, and then for the spherical one, it's at the bottom area also, and then for the multi-object, it's at the bottom also. Okay, supposedly the center of this last object is at the hip, or the center of the hip here, because this is the parent. So supposedly the center should be within the center of the parent, but however, since we freeze transformation, it automatically goes to the very center of the world, which is on this place. Okay, so let me create a joint for the legs. So to create a joint for the legs, let's start with the upper leg area. Just a disclaimer, there's no standard or mandatory standard type of rig. Okay, make sure that when you do rigging, you have to take note what kind of action are you going to make your character, what kind of movement or animation is set to your character. Okay, if your character is the only movement that your character will do is the upper body, then focus your detailed rig on the upper body. If it's going to make a roundhouse kick or 360 degree rotation or for the entire body animation, then you really have to focus on the entire body rig. Okay, but if you're going to animate your object on a specific and very minimal movement, then you have to focus more on the part of your character that will have those action. Okay, let's not focus more on the entire body. If your character is for incidental, and then it only have to sit on a bench or maybe a subtle walk on the background, then a simple rig will do. You don't have to create a very complex one. So let me create a joint. So let's say this is the pelvic area. Pelvic. Okay, and then try to offset a little bit for the knee. Okay, and then try on the legs. Okay, I can either enter this or I can continue the creation up to the knee area. Okay, but if you're not going to continue the skeleton, and then you'll create another one. Just make sure you have one here on the ankle area, and then this is the bending point of your toes. Okay, and then the end point of your toe. This is for you to be able to um, make a bend on your toe. Okay, and then maybe you can just shape and then parent these two, um, connect the upper ankle and the lower ankle. Okay, but if you create it on the right side, it will go to your in the very center of the world, so you have to move it within or inside the mesh or the skin. Okay, and the reason why I created the foot joint or skeleton on a side view, because I'm telling my software to I'm directing my Maya to have a bend on this area. That's why I offset it a bit. The leg and the upper ankle joint are almost aligned, while the knee joint is a little offset. It's for me to tell Maya that you have to bend it. You have to bend this joint this way, okay, along the offset joint. Okay, then let me do the rest first before I duplicate on the other side. Okay, so for the upper body, I'm going to create another joint. Okay, from here, pelvis, and then maybe the waist area, and then the mid area, and then I can add one here or directly go here. Okay, let me add a little joint here, and then for the neck area, and then you hit enter. So for this one, maybe I can move this a bit, and then this one a bit. Okay, so I will parent my joint for the arm here on the chest area, and this one for the neck area. Or I have an option also to parent a joint here in this neck area rather than the chest area. It's up to you. Whatever purpose you have to do, or what depends on the animation that you're going to do. Again, the skeletal setup varies, depends on its purpose. Okay, so for the head, I'm going to create a joint. Okay, usually some will just create one joint from the chin area to the tip of the head. However, before, what we practice is we create one joint here, okay, and then another joint here. Why do I have to create one joint here? It's because just in case you decided to just rig your character mouth, okay, if let's say your character doesn't have a dialogue but it has to open its mouth, then you can just add one joint here for the chin. Okay, so my first recording stopped at 10 minutes, so I have to redo the recording or continue the recording from the last part we were in. The last part is the chin. So as I was saying, let me unparent this first. Oh, sorry, this one. I was able to complete the skeleton before I realized that my recording stopped. So I have to redo last part. We're trying to create a head. So the reason why I have to create another joint here, okay, sometimes if we have characters that are that has to have an open mouth or a little movement on the jaw, so we create an extra joint here, okay, to control the chin, and then another extra joint on the upper, so it can control the movement on the upper jaw. So the upper jaw doesn't moves, the lower jaw only the lower jaw tends to move. Okay, but here for this demo, since we don't have a character face, so we don't need the chin and the upper and lower chin or upper and lower jaw joint. Okay, now I'm going to create a joint for the arms. Okay, for the arms, let me create joint. So from the shoulder, I'm doing it on top view so that I can tell Maya that this is how it should offset or move, okay, or bend. So try to offset on the elbow, and then same alignment as the shoulder for the wrist, and then you hit enter. Now for the hand, I'm going to create this for on the front view. Okay, so let me hit enter, because currently this might continue. If I try to create another joint, the joint might continue from this joint going there. So I'll just hit enter, okay, to end the creation for the arm. And then let's go to create, click on the wrist, and then for the palm, and then the bending area. You can add more joint if you want a more realistic close hand. Okay, so let me try to fix this a bit. Okay, now let's create, or let's move the shoulder to the middle of our mesh. So it should be in the middle of the mesh, and then let's rotate a bit. Okay, now let's try to check the hand on our top view, because it's kind of offset. It's in the center of the world. Okay, so now that we have the half of the body, we have the shoulder, left shoulder, and we have the legs. Let me delete this, and then let me show you how to mirror that. So once you're okay with this, just select the shoulder joint, and then you go to skeleton, mirror option box, make sure that it's on YZ axis, and then you hit apply, and then as you can see, it already duplicated. However, since my hand is not parented to the arms, let me select the hand first, shift select on the wrist, upper wrist, and then you hit P to parent. Okay, and then let me do again the mirror, apply. Now that we have the right hand, let's proceed with the left leg. Okay, apply. Now that it's completed, or all skeleton parts are completed, we just need to parent it. So the hip or the upper legs should be parented on the hip or the pelvic area. Just hit letter P, select the joint. This one I'm going to parent on the chest area, P. Okay, and then the neck should be parented on the shoulder chin area. Okay, so every time if I move this or select this, it will select the entire skeleton. Now if I try to move this skeleton using the hip, it will move the entire skeletal system. Okay, and the reason why it's the pelvic, the parent is the pelvic, is so that we can rotate this Okay, if we want our character to bend, okay, you do not rotate it or make it bend on the hip, otherwise the entire body will rotate. So we need the hip or the waist area. So this is the upper chest. So now that we're okay with this, maybe we can skin bind. But before we skin bind, before I try to skin bind, I will duplicate this and show you how does this skeletal setup and the skin binded skeletal setup affects the way how we model our object. So we're going to continue this on the next video.